So in this video, we're going to look at another popular data type supported in Python called strings. So strings are just sequences of character data. In Python, strings are considered to be immutable. What this means is that they cannot be changed after they are created. Now, so how do we create a string? To create a string, we use either single quote or double quotation. It doesn't really matter. So Python will interpret that as a string. So let's go ahead and create two variables, hello and world, which will hold the following string. So I will put this using the print function. So we run that. You can see now we've already outputted these two variables, or the contents of these two variables, hello and world. What if we wanted to get the length of, for example, this variable here, world? Okay, to do that, we're going to use the len function. So we just type here len. Okay, so this will just get the length of the contents of this variable. So we print that again. You can see this is 5. I mean, we have 5 characters. Okay, another thing to pay attention to. So let's say we wanted to combine these two. Okay, to do that, we're just gonna reuse these variables. So we're gonna use what we call string concatenation. So to do that, we use the plus sign here. So hello references this variable and then plus, and then we use this to tell Python want to separate or put an empty space. So remember here, we putting a space there. So that's an empty space or white space. And then after that, we want to concatenate with world. Okay. And then we save this as a new variable HW. So we print that, you can see hello world. We can also put a character here. So if we wanted to maybe separate by that, so we can do that as well. So if you remove this space here, you can see the effect. There's no space here. So that's why we have to explicitly mention this to Python. Okay. Another thing here. So suppose here we wanted to do some string formatting. So these are just placeholders. So on this left-hand side, so percentage sign, we use the percentage sign here S. So to tell Python that we want to format, right? We want to format a string. So that means the argument over here will be formatted as a string. Similarly to this. So if we have a number, in this case, this is 12. So we use percentage %d to format a number. In this case, this is an integer. Okay. We save it as HW12 as a variable. We run that. I can see now we're able to output that. So this is pretty nifty and very common if you wanted to do some string formatting. Okay. Now let's look at a bunch of useful methods. So suppose we create a new variable called S. You know, S holds our string called hello. So let's run that. And let's say we wanted to capitalize this. So to do that, we just type the variable, and then as soon as you type the dot notation, so Python is going to reveal for you different methods that it's going to use. So the first one we want to use here is called capitalize. And because this is a function, then we need to close that with a parenthesis. Okay. We can also change this to uppercase. Again, dot here. Then we can look for uppercase, or maybe as you type uppercase, Python should be able to figure that out for you. So in this case, we just type there dot, and you can look for uppercase, for example. So in this case, we want to use the function upper. So we're going to use that and type it like that. Okay. Next here, if we want to do right justify, so we're just going to type r just. Okay. So that's the one. And then we can say how many spaces, for example, how many padding spaces. In this case, maybe I just want to put 7. Similarly here, if you want to center that, so just type center. So again, this is a function, a method that we already have. So parenthesis, and we pass some argument, maybe 7. So once you do that, we can run that, and we can see the first one here. So we capitalize the first letter, and we kind of change the entire string to uppercase. So those are some of the useful methods you can use. Okay. Another useful method, you can use the replace, and then you can say, okay, what do you want to replace? So you want to replace all instances of ELL, hello, with L. Okay. So once you print that, you can see that for every instance where we have L, it's been replaced with ELL. So this is just another useful function when you want to replace some characters in your string. Okay, so let's say you have some leading or trailing white space, right? So if you want to strip that, we use this strip function, right? So if we run that, you can see we've removed all these trailing spaces that are after and at the beginning. So this function here will try, or rather will remove all these empty spaces over here. Okay, and lastly here, let's say this is something you might encounter. This was the old way of formatting. So we use the percentage. Then here, you just want to say how many decimal places you want to format. So F here just means this is so this would be a float, right? Because we have decimal, right? Again, here we want to format this to 2 decimal places. Notice that we use the percentage string. So for each of these, we have 3 arguments, so we want to format that. So all these will be formatted based on this format: 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, 3 decimal place. The new style of doing things, we also use these curly brackets, right? So essentially here, this is just the format. So here we just want to format this to 1 decimal place, second 2 decimal places, and 3 decimal places. So essentially here, this is what we want to format based on these format codes. Okay, so we print that, just gives you the same output. This is the old style and this is the new style. So to summarize this, these are other methods that you can use to perform, or rather to make your string much more, or rather manipulate your string. For example, here is title here, we just want to see whether the uppercase is true. Otherwise, lowercase. These are just functions that you can use to check the Boolean logic, whether it's true or false. Okay, so that wraps up strings in Python. This is just a high-level overview for strings. So string, there's so much you can do actually with strings in Python.